Dear colleagues, it's my pleasure to welcome you here at our Tea Club. Today we will discuss the question, what makes a good speaking activity? Most learners study a foreign language in order to use it as a means of communication with other people. Oral communication involves a wide range of skills and requires a lot of practice. We, as teachers, need to give as many opportunities as possible to communicate in English in the classroom. And now, let me invite you to my lesson. I want you to pay attention to how I teach speaking in the lesson. Welcome to my lesson! Hello, dear friends! How are you? Hope you are fine. Let's start our lesson. You're going to watch a video showing people talking about what makes them happy. Please watch the video and answer the question, what makes them happy? What in your life has brought you the most joy?
My parents. Doing stuff that I haven't did in a long time really good. Seeing my friend Amelia.
Having a sister.
Video games.
My family and my friends.
My family.
My brother and my dog.
Doing plays and shows and stuff. I love acting.
My family. My career.
My family.
Music.
Moving to New York.
I think doing creative projects with people I love.
I would say any time that I get to spend with my two siblings and my parents would be the most joyful times that I have.
I finally got settled and unpacked my suitcase. That sounds like a very small thing, but growing up I moved 15 times. Then for uni I moved another 6. For work I pack things a lot and unpack, so it was really nice to feel like I finally had my own home.
My family has brought me a lot of joy.
A year ago I got a gig for one of my favorite director.
My friends and my family, for sure.
Moving to New York City.
Entertaining other people.
Music.
My music and what I want to say in my music.
Again, going back to my doggy, Alfie. Just look at him, I just can't stop smiling. Just every time I see him.
Performing on stage.
Writing and my 2 cats.
Dance.
Reading.
Honestly, music.
The ability to let loose of what society wants from me and just live for myself and pursue whatever I want to do.
I think my family has brought me the most joy in my life.
My daughter, hands down.
I say my family.
Being consistent.
Just the simple things in life, being healthy, progressing in my career.
Both my children.
Music and sharing music with people.
Singing.
Being with friends, family, yeah.
My children, definitely.
Having a son.
The best decision that I've made in the last 20 years is my acquisition of 2 French bulldogs.
Collaborating with other artists.
What makes them happy? Video games, family, friends, dog, music, moving to New York, entertaining others, dance. So these are some ideas that were mentioned in the video. And what makes you happy? Here is the list of things that may make you happy. Please put them in order of importance, where the most important item is the first and the least important is the 10th, and explain your choice. For example, if the most important item is family, I put it in the first place, then friends, and etc. Let's compare the ideas. Probably the most important item is family, then friends, then maybe traveling, clothes, good school performance, sports, modern gadgets, and the least important item is computer games. Maybe for some of you this list is different. Please work with your classmate and discuss the following questions. What can cause a conflict between parents and their teens? Do you get on well with your parents? Do you sometimes quarrel with your parents? If yes, what do you quarrel over? Let's discuss together. What can cause a conflict between parents and their teens? For example, school performance, free time activities, children's appearance. Do you get on well with your parents? Some of you probably get on well with your parents. Some may sometimes have some conflicts and misunderstandings. Do you sometimes quarrel with your parents? If yes, what do you quarrel over? Parents and teens sometimes quarrel about the above-mentioned reasons, such as school performance or teen's appearance. Probably you know what a role play is. You are going to work in pairs and role play the given situations. For example, in the first situation, one student will be Bakıt or Jamila and another student will be Bakıt or Jamila's parents. A teenager role plays the following. You are Bakıt Jamila. You want to go to your best friend's birthday party. All your friends are allowed to arrive home at 9 p.m., but you have to be home at 7 p.m. And parents role play the following. You are Bakıt Jamila's parents. You think that 9 p.m. is too late to come home for your son or daughter. You want him or her to arrive home at 7 p.m. Moreover, you don't like Bakıt Jamila's friends. You think they have a bad influence on him or her. As soon as you finish, you may go to the next situation and continue role-playing. Thank you for your great performances. And now, please complete the table with your own ideas about the common complaints of parents and teenagers. For example, parents may complain, "My children don't help me around the house." Or teens may complain, "My parents criticize my appearance." Let's compare the ideas. Parents may complain, "My children don't help around the house, always play computer games, aren't making enough effort to study well, or spend too much time surfing the internet." And teenagers may complain, "My parents criticize my appearance. They think that I'm not making enough effort to study well, or they don't allow to go out." And now, please work in groups of 4 and make a guide for parents and teenagers. For example, parents should help their children when they are in trouble, or teenagers should listen to their parents' advice. Now you are going to make a presentation about the guide for parents and teenagers. Please be ready to make a presentation and make sure that each of you gets a chance to speak. Make a presentation using useful phrases in the box. For example, "We think parents should help their children when they are in trouble." And also you can use the words like "in our opinion," "firstly," "secondly," "we advise parents, teenagers to do something," or "it's necessary or important for parents, teenagers to do something." Thank you for your great presentations. And this is the end of the lesson. I hope you will use the ideas mentioned in the guide for parents and teenagers, and they will help you to get on well with your parents. Take care and see you next time. Dear colleagues, let's come back to our discussion. If we discuss the speaking part of the lesson, it's usually integrated with other skills. In reading, listening, and writing lessons, it usually takes place in the pre- and post stages. And teachers can also follow up the speaking task with a writing activity. But what makes a good speaking activity? A good speaking activity is purposeful and meaningful. Students should be given interesting activities that are relevant to the students in everyday life and serve communication needs. It gives students an opportunity to speak more. The task should require longer answers, discussion, or expressing opinions, and should let students work in pairs and groups. There should be even participation. All students get a chance to speak. It's important to motivate the learners. Students are eager to speak when they are interested in the topic and have something to say about it. It's also useful to pre-teach or review the vocabulary or grammar students need to accomplish the task. A good speaking activity is time-bound. Students should be given specific time for the task. If the time is short, they will work harder. You can always give them more time later if you need it. Let's talk now about the types of speaking activities. There are basically three main types: controlled, semi-controlled, and free speaking activities. Controlled speaking activities are those ones which limit what to say and how to say it, vocabulary and grammar. For example, answering questions after reading the text. Semi-controlled are the activities which partially limit what and how to say. For example, the teacher asks students to share what makes them happy or tell them to their classmates about conflicts and quarrels they may have with their parents. They can say whatever they want within the task, but they can choose the items from the given list. And finally, students are not limited in any way in free speaking activities. For example, when they are making their own ideas about the common complaints of parents and teenagers, or when they are making a guide for parents and teenagers and share everything they know about it. Of course, students might be worried about making mistakes, or they're afraid of being criticized and thus have problems with speaking activities. Here, we work with imaginary students, but in the real classroom, group and pair work should be organized. Some students do not feel confident enough to speak in front of the class, but if they work with their peers, it will build their confidence and provide all students with a chance to speak. To sum up, a good speaking activity is purposeful and meaningful. It gives learners opportunity to talk a lot. It provides even participation. It motivates students to speak out, and it's time-bound. So, how many types of speaking activities do we know? Yes, there are 3 types, which are controlled, semi-controlled, and free speaking activities. Students' pair and group work is very effective for building students' confidence and providing everyone with a chance to speak. Dear teachers, this is all I plan to tell you about teaching speaking. If you have any questions related to the topic, please don't hesitate to contact us through our website. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you next time.